Hey there, my name's Jackson, and if you found this video, it's likely because you're interested in indie game development, or maybe you're an indie game developer already. And the first thing that I just want to say is congratulations, because I think that game development, and especially indie game development, is probably, if not the most, then one of the most exciting forms of art and one of the most exciting professions to be in today. I think we're in a very unique spot in history, in the timeline of this trip of life on Earth, where we've got unparalleled technology to create virtual environments, and we're sort of on a unique cutting edge where game development's only been around for like 40 or so years, and so a lot of what people are doing in games today, we're sort of charting the course and we're sort of exploring what is an unknown territory, this unknown territory of what it means to interact with virtual worlds made by, the human hand using all of these fantastic tools and game engines that we've got. So it's a very exciting place to be. But it's also not without its challenges for the exact same reason. It's a very fast moving field. There's a lot of technical knowledge that goes into making a games. It's very technically demanding. It's very multidisciplinary, and the indie side of it, especially, making indie games is specifically going off the beaten track and sort of exploring, these really creative, unusual ways of interacting with digital media and making unique experiences. So that comes with a lot of challenges. And if you've experimented with indie game development yourself, maybe you've already come across some of those challenges, which is what we're going to talk about today. Like, some of those challenges might include technical overwhelm, like not knowing where to learn all the information from that's required to make a video game. Maybe you've tried to make a game and you've run out of motivation because of just how long it seemed to take or how overwhelming it was, and you weren't sure like how to plan it or to finish it. Maybe you experienced some scope creep, and you quickly spiraled out of control and you weren't able to see it through to the end. Maybe you've tried to develop a game and feel a bit like an outsider, and it's like you sort of see these other people on YouTube doing their games, and you might think that they're better than yours, or you compare your games to what people are doing in AAA studios, and you think, oh my god, like I could never be like that. How do people learn these sorts of things? Am I even doing this right? Like, what's the correct way to make a game? Am I going to have problems with performance? Like, are my blueprints going to scale? And where do I even get the support? It's like maybe you feel like a bit of an imposter because we've got this fantastic thing that's the computer here, but the downside of the computer and the internet is that you can often feel like you're watching everybody through a screen and like you're not part of what is like the game development community, or you feel like you're not a real game developer or something like that. And so, there are a lot of challenges that come with game development, and if you try to make a game, you'll see that for yourself. But what I'm here to talk about today is, well, I've felt a lot like that for a long time. I've started developing games about 7 years ago now, and I've experienced plenty of abandoned projects. I've experienced plenty of scope creep and crashed projects, and and feeling like an outsider and not knowing what I'm doing. And I've had a bit of experience like going to different game development schools and working in startups and different things in the industry. And basically these days, the thing that matters to me most, and I've realized after all of that I want to do, is just make indie games, for myself and with my friends, people that I care about, and to make the games that I love. And there's this quote which I really loved, that you can go to philosophy school and never learn how to think. It's just that you learn what all the other philosophers thought. And I think the same is very true for game development. It's like the only way to really learn how to make an indie game is to just have the courage to like bet on yourself and to figure it out. Because it's like you can learn a lot of things from other people, you can learn a lot of the technical information, and you can learn what people do in the industry and how they like to do it and whatever. But ultimately, like, indie game development is a very personal thing. It's a very creative and individual thing, and your path, like your unique path through it, the path that nobody else is going to take and the path that only you can take, is something that only you can walk. And the way that you learn how to do indie game development is to dare to walk that path, and to learn all of these things, to learn like what skills that you need to make the game that you want, to learn what is and isn't a reasonable expectation for a time frame, to learn how to plan your projects, to do game design, to keep things organized, to learn how to get things in on time. Like what's the best way that you work, what are the things that inspire you, and what are the games that you actually want to make, what are the things that keep you motivated. Like these are all things that you learn in the terrain, but like in the trenches, like doing the work. And so even though I do sincerely believe that you've got to walk that path for yourself to really figure it out and to understand who you are and how it is that you want to create and how to create, I don't think that you have to walk that path alone. And I think you can learn a lot from other people who have been in that experience. And when I was learning indie game development, I didn't have anybody that I felt like I could contact with questions that I have, or I didn't have anybody that I felt like I could model after or follow after to learn how to do all these things and to learn how to plan my projects and manage my time and to actually make a game that matters to me and get the thing out there and not have the burnout and not have the depression and to not have and not just feel like I'm alone, and so if that's sort of resonating with you and if you want to like bet on yourself and try to take your game development, you want to take it more seriously and you want to learn more about it, then I'm going to invite you to click a link down in the description where it's going to take you to a little something that I've made where I've compiled all of the things that I've learned about designing and releasing an indie game, making sure that you're staying on track and to plan your project and doing your blueprints properly and keeping backups and finding community support and all those things. I've compiled it all into a little 12-week program that you can go through to sort of handhold you through walking that path for yourself. It's not going to do the work for you, obviously, because only you can do that. You can do it in your own unique way, but it can act as like a container and a framework to keep you on track and to alert you to some of the pitfalls that are going to potentially or will definitely come up as you dive deeper into game development. So if that's something that sounds interesting to you, check out the link in the description to learn more about that. And just the other thing that I'll mention as well is that inside of that course, there's the course content itself, the 12 weeks, but primarily I think the most important thing that's going to come from that course actually is the community of people that we build around it. So there's going to be a private Discord community for everybody that joins that course so that you can post your work as you're doing it. You can get feedback from people, you can get support from people and support from me as well, because game development's a very difficult thing, man, and I think we've all got different skills and different strengths, and I think the more we cooperate and can support each other, the better off we all are for it. And it can be hard, like working on a computer by yourself all the time as well, so it's good to have people that you're connected to. So check that out, let me know what you think with a comment, and hopefully I'll see you on the inside. See ya.